serving up a warm dish of the Triads culinary fare, here's your weekly helping of food, news, and views. This is The Man Who Ate the Town.
Hey folks, and welcome to episode number 80 of The Man Who Ate the Town podcast. This is for the week of August 13th through the 19th, 2018. My name is Tim Beeman, and I am opening the recipe box. We are recording this episode of The Man Who Ate the Town at the Lab at Industry Hill. It is a repurposed building on North Chestnut Street in the old warehouse district of downtown Winston-Salem. We now call this Industry Hill. To find out more, visit industryhill.com. At this time, I'm going to introduce my new co-host, Mr. Tim Johnson. Say hello, Mr. Tim Johnson.
Hello, everybody.
And he will be filling in for Kelly until Kelly's ready to come back. To be clear here, she is still very much part of the show. She's just taking care of her business, and she'll be back when she can. So, Tim, tell us a little bit about you.
I really like to eat food, and I like beer. So, no, I'm a professional voice talent, primarily. I'm also a certified trainer, and I run a DJ business.
Okay.
And on the other spectrum, I like to hang out with my buddy Tim and talk about food.
Yep, we do that. Tim and his wife Amy, who I've known for a very long time, have joined us at the often mentioned Willow's Bistro a couple of times, and have gone on to a beer tour with us, and so yeah, we have fun.
Yeah, you know. Good old Winston-Salem.
Yeah.
Beautiful place.
So King's Crab Shack and Oyster Bar is opening its second location at 502 Haynes Mall Boulevard this week. Rumor has it it's as early as today, and I have confirmed it is today. They are now open over on Haynes Mall Boulevard, right beside Bad Daddy's Burgers.
Yeah.
I was able to attend a soft opening, invite-only preview in which I took my son Trey and my nephew Ryan last week. Let me tell you that this place is top-notch. It looks great. There's more room. The ambience is quieter. But it certainly keeps that King's Crab Shack feel.
Nice.
You know, in the old place, you love it because of the atmosphere and just what it is and the food.
Right.
But it's a bit tight. And if you're trying to have a conversation, you can forget it. We had, on the day that we were there, we had oysters, calamari, seafood po' boys, shrimp quesadillas, and the dreamy, steamy bucket, which was just, and I had mine without the crab legs. I like crab legs. However, that's a lot of damn work.
It is.
And I told him, I said, I just want all the stuff that's here, and I just peel it and eat it. Yeah. And that was a whole lot better. The food was delicious. The bar area has these protruding booths with the tall seats. Nice. If you ever went in the old First Street Draft House, on the back end, they had those booths that were, big, like
etched out almost.
Yeah, they were like oval, but they were obviously just one side because the other side was on the bar. And they have those, so you can sit at the bar and not have to be crammed. Right. The beach feel is still there. It's a little bit different, but it's still there. And they have the TVs everywhere. They have all the ABC stuff that they had at the other place. So I recommend you go to the news location just to check it out. And of course, still go to the original location at 239 West 4th Street.
Got to.
For more information about that and to see a menu, if you've never been, shame on you. But visit goodvibeshospitality.com. Make sure you put hospitality, because if you just put goodvibes.com, you're going to get more than you bargained for.
Cheech and Chong action.
Yeah. Stephanie and I visited Mozzarella Fellas for the first time on Friday after an invitation from the owner, Brian.
Yeah, shout out to Brian.
Yeah, and we got an introduction from a friend of both of us, Ray Morgan.
Ray.
Yeah,
the man.
Brian treated us to some great food. Let me say, a mutual friend of Tim and me told me to, that's Ray again, told me to be on the lookout for the buffalo cauliflower, and he wasn't wrong. So the buffalo and the barbecue flavors were really, really good. And their texture, the way they were made, tasted just like you were eating the boneless buffalo bites, like chicken. and the flavor was spot on. I don't know how they got it to taste like chicken, but the buffalo sauce and the barbecue sauce that they used were fantastic. They also brought us out some of their homemade mozzarella bites, and they make the mozzarella in-house. So they buy the cheese curd, and then they do all the pressing and the fast boiling and all that stuff to get it all right.
That's a process for us.
And they make their own marinara sauce there, so that's very good. Next came a pizza. He sent us a Fella's margarita with heirloom tomatoes, the house-made mozzarella, marinara, garlic, pickled red onions, sweet basil, and all of it with a balsamic glaze on top. And the crust was just right, not overly chewy on the edge. You know, sometimes you can't pull it off, and you feel like you're going to lose a filling or a tooth. And it wasn't burned on the bottom. Sometimes thin pizza crust can be a little burnt. This was perfectly done. I mean, it was darker in spots like you expect it to be, but it was not burnt, and that was fantastic. He also sent out the pappardelle carbonara and the pappardelle bolognese. The carbonara was salty and creamy, just like you'd want it to be, from the egg and from the prosciutto in there. And the bolognese was perfect and just tangy with the Parmesan cheese, but it has this 8-hour meat sauce that takes 8 hours for him to make. It was very meaty. I think it's veal and beef and everything in there mixed. Man. And the marinara that was in there was very acidic, which is what you want from a tomato sauce. Exactly. And it was so tomatoey. It was bright, and the basil in there was bright and fresh, so it all came out really well. The let's see what I'm gonna say. The pappardelle was not chewy. It was not overly eggy like some pastas can be. And they make everything to order. So I'm sure they have the pasta rolled out, and then whenever they need an order of something, they cut it the way they need to and then boil it then. So
wow, it's fresh.
It's very fresh. And for dessert, they sent out a pie oh my, which was a baked pizza dough, and then slathered with Nutella, and then had bananas, and strawberries. The crust was perfect, just like in the margarita, and the sweet strawberries and starchy bananas created a delicious contrast to that Nutella. It was just a great dessert. We had so much food. Wow. We took 4 to-go boxes.
That's 4, folks.
4 to-go boxes, and we had for brunch yesterday. We had the leftover margarita pizza. Yeah, so
you throw it in the oven?
She put it in a toaster oven. Nice. Yeah, just one of those convection toasters, and just let it toast up, and it was just as delicious, crunchy. It was good. So you can visit Mozzarella Fellas, 336 Summit Square Boulevard in Winston-Salem, and you can see their entire menu and see more about what we ate at mozzarellafellas.com. This week, I will be writing a blog post about that visit, and there will be pictures of all the stuff that we had. So,
smell-o-vision?
I wish I had. I wish that was a thing that really happened, other than those scratch and sniff things, or the mechanical things that they like shoot out in the movie theater. No. What's your favorite restaurant in town, Tim?
Holy cow, dude!
Did I put you on the spot with that one?
We have a lot. I may not have a variety of flavors, but I would have to say Moselles.
Moselles.
Yeah. So far in this area.
Yeah.
But it's a close tie with a lot of different stuff. Cheese.
What do you like at Moselles the most? Tomato pie?
She loves the tomato pie. That cheese contrast and that crust. Woof.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I really like. God, they have so many good things. I had a meatloaf there one time.
Yeah. Bacon wrapped.
Oh, dude. Yeah, that's the one.
And that's the collard greens.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But see. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. Yeah. Moselles. We really like Thai Harmony.
Yeah.
Their sushi is really good.
Okay.
And of course, the food trucks right here are ridiculous.
Yes, and Kelly and I had talked about wanting to come up with a food truck directory that not only, I mean, we could go to I know the people who put on the Burke Street Food Truck Festival every year.
Uh-huh.
I'm friends with them. I can go to them and say, hey, can I get a directory here? But I want, and I will probably do that, but I also want to do it as a comprehensive explanation of what each one does and not just a name.
Oh, yeah.
So on the website, I can put a tab, because I have a tab for menus,
Mm-hmm.
and I can put a tab for the food trucks and give a description and links to their Facebook pages or their websites or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
The food truck industry in this town is a resilient industry because the health department does them no favors. They are extra stringent, and I think a little bit too much so, on everything, the restaurants and the food trucks. But, you know, they have to be tethered to a restaurant of some sort to have a commissary.
True.
Another thing that I've talked about, I would love to find a large warehouse that's not being used, that needs to be repurposed, turning it into a massive commissary.
Ooh.
And rent out spaces, including freezer space and prep areas, as well as oil dumps for the grease traps and all that stuff. And that way we can recycle that.
Yeah.
But I have no capital to do this, but I would love to do it and offer it a monthly rate, a rent rate, reasonable
Sure.
to the food trucks. And they can go in together if they need to, you know, rent whatever, you know, two places get one freezer and just split it up, you know.
Sure, why not?
And I think that would solve a lot of the problems, because a lot of the restaurants around here are willing to do that, but they don't have the capacity because they have to service their own stuff.
Exactly.
So I just feel if there was a way to have, and I know there's talks about the new place down Marshall Street at the end where Salem Avenue is, that they're getting ready to redo that whole, it used to be the ARC building, the Hewitt building, all that.
Yeah.
I know that they've talked about doing that, but that's up and down in conversation. I don't ever know what their real intentions are going right now. I've had Margaret Norfleet Neff, who is the one in charge of that, on the Less Desirables talking about it. And I had to be honest, I don't know that I really got the full gist of what was going on, even though they tried to explain it to us. And I've been to a couple of meetings about it.
Beating around the bush.
Yeah, no, it's not necessarily beating around the bush. It's just, maybe me. Maybe I'm just ignorant to what's going on. But it's just not standing out to me what's happening or what they're wanting to do. So I would love to have another conversation to hear if anything's progressed and explain a little more of how we're going to make something like this happen. And it's not just the food trucks. It's a whole lot of other things. There's startup space for culinary startups, and even beyond that, it's not necessarily culinary stuff. It could be a radio station. It could be several things. But I don't know what's going on because I don't have any updates on that. It's just confusing, and I think that the food trucks are in need of something now.
Oh, yeah.
Again, I have no capital to do it, but I think someone needs to do it.
Yeah, there needs to be a conglomerate done on that.
Yeah.
'Cause that could be a huge factor with these trucks, man. If you get them free reign and function like that, no more, more exact capacity up there. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, because let's take King's Crab Shack.
Mm-hmm.
Not King's Crab Shack, Willows. Let's take Willows.
Yeah.
And they have, several trucks have approached them, and they've like, we would love to help you, but we have no room in the kitchen. We have no freezer space extra. We have to do all of our stuff here. We just have no room to accommodate you.
Right.
There are very few restaurants in town that have that ability. And the ones that do have it have people doing it, and they can only service so many at a time. So it's, if they could if they could step out of, and the thing would have to go through health department screenings and ratings, just like any food processing place. And they'd probably have to go through the Department of Agriculture as well. But it would, again, untether them from restaurants to give restaurants more room to grow without having to worry about, oh crap, we got to get everything out of the way because, Timmy Vio's food truck needs to come in here and do some stuff.
Right.
And then after that, we have Billboard Tim walking in. We have, we have to, So when are we going to get to our stuff?
Right.
I just think it would be a help for the community because we'd get more food trucks. And it would help the food trucks get independence from the tethered restaurants.
There you go. That's a great idea, dude.
Yeah, I wish I could make that happen. So if you are a venture capitalist,
there we go,
and want to talk about this idea more, I have no business plan, so don't come to me expecting that. But I have ideas that I would want to be involved with, but I'll let you take it and run with it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So food holidays in history for this week.
Ooh.
The 8/13 is National Filet Mignon Day. O. Henry, who is from Greensboro, pen name of William Sidney Porter, was the first to use the term filet mignon in his book The 4 Million in 1906. It's a French derivative. It means small or dainty fillet, and a filet is boneless meat. Mignon is small or dainty, so that's where the name comes from. It's also, the 13th is National Prosecco Day, which is an Italian sparkling wine from Veneto. The 14th of August is National Creamsicle Day. The 15th of August is National Lemon Meringue Pie Day.
Hey.
I love me some lemon meringue
Yeah,
pie.
my mom loves that, man.
In 1911, on 8/15, Crisco was introduced by Procter & Gamble. Crisco is a hydrogenated shortening made from vegetable oil, which keeps its solid form even in warm weather. Also on the 15th, Julia Child was born. She's American cooking authority, obviously a cookbook author. Some people know, some people don't. During World War II, she worked for the OSS, which was the forerunner of the CIA. And she died on the 13th in 2004, just 2 days before her 92nd birthday.
Julia Child.
Oh, I'm going to look at it's a little bird. Look at this bird. Oh, I dropped the bird. On the 15th in 1969, it was the start of the 3-day Woodstock Music and Arts Fair on a farm in upstate New York, which is a place called Woodstock.
There you go, folks.
On the 16th of August, it's National Bratwurst Day, or Bratwurst Day. It's National Rum Day. And on the 16th in 1888, John Stith Pemberton died. Do you know who John Stith Pemberton was?
Anybody?
He was the pharmacist who invented Coca-Cola just 3 years before his death in 1885.
Man.
The 17th is National Vanilla Custard Day. Not any other custard, just vanilla custard. The 18th is National Ice Cream Pie Day.
Oh, man.
It's also National Honeybee Day and National Pinot Noir Day.
Ooh,
And if you remember from the film Sideways, Paul Giamatti's character, Miles Raymond, loved Pinot Noir and hated Merlot. He even refused to drink it, saying, "If anyone orders Merlot, I'm leaving. I am not drinking any effing Merlot." Also on the 18th in 1587, Virginia Dare was born on Roanoke Island in North Carolina, the first English child born in the New World.
Wow.
On the 19th of August, it's National Soft Serve Ice Cream Day, not to be confused with International Soft Serve Ice Cream Day, which happens at a different time.
Two different things.
National Hot and Spicy Food Day and National Potato Day.
That was a good day.
On that day in 1851, Charles Elmer Hires was born. Do you know what he did? Also a pharmacist and creator of Hires Root Beer, which he introduced at the world to the world at the Philadelphia Centennial Expo in 1876.
Wow.
On the 19th, in 1856, Gail Borden was granted a patent for a process to make condensed milk, which he had actually developed in 1853.
That's a big deal.
In 1913, on that day, candy manufacturer Clarence Crane registered Lifesavers. He invented the mint hard candy in 1912. And finally, on that day, the 19th of August, William B. Ward registered in 1919 Hostess for breads, biscuits, and cakes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I do love me some cakes from Hostess.
Man.
You know, but the thing I liked most from Hostess when I was growing up, though, was the fruit pies.
Really?
Yeah, but not the apple. I've never been a big apple fan, but I love the cherry and the lemon and stuff like that.
Yeah, I like the cherry.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's your food holidays and history for this week. Special thanks to James Ehler from his website. I had to look it up again for compiling the holidays and histories for us.
Thanks, James.
The Man Who Ate the Town podcast is part of the Less Desirables podcast network. Along with this podcast, you can listen to the Less Desirables, the Beer Dads, Fan Interference, and you can find all those podcasts on their latest episodes on the network website and directory, tldpodnetwork.com. If you have the Amazon Echo or Echo Dot, you can enable the AnyPod skill and ask Alexa to have AnyPod play the Man Who Ate the Town podcast.
Awesome.
And we'd greatly appreciate it if you visited our sponsors.
Please.
Let's start with Delicio's Italian Restaurant at 301 Mamma Mia. 301 Brookstown Avenue. Italian food like you're sitting in Naples. It's more than just spaghetti and lasagna, but we guarantee it will be better than any spaghetti and lasagna you're going to find around here.
Thanks.
They've got rich, I can't even speak today, rich cream sauces, bright and flavorful red sauces, wine sauces, vodka sauces, seafood, meat, vegetarian, all of it right there. Many styles of pasta to choose from and daily specials. They're open 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Thursday and 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. on Friday and Saturday.
Awesome.
They're closed on Sundays unless they're having a wine dinner. Check them out on Instagram and Facebook. Washington Perk and Provision Company is located at 301 West 4th Street in downtown Winston-Salem. They are home of Wolfie's Custard and their 16 to 20 flavors of custard, including a lavender, a tiramisu, the chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry that you would expect, and a ton others. There's a coffee, there's pistachio, there's a mint chocolate chip. They have it all. They also have Larry's Beans Coffee if you're needing that coffee fix. They have eggs, milk, and cheese from Homeland Creamy. They have Ashe County cheese, condiments like peanut butter and mayonnaise, hot sauce, napkins, anything you need. The Perk has them all. Washington Perk is better than a convenience store, not quite a grocery store. Again, they're located at 301 West 4th Street in downtown Winston-Salem. And on Facebook, they are facebook.com/Washington Perk.
Look at man.
The Humblebee Shop is located at 1003 Brookstown Avenue in the west end of downtown. Visit for cookies, cakes, pies, and other dessert goodies made just for you. Everything is carefully crafted and made 100% from scratch. The Humblebee Shop wants to challenge your perception of scratch made and leave you with an experience you couldn't possibly forget. For more information, follow them on Facebook and visit thehumblebeeshop.co, and it's spelled SHOPPE.co.
Man, yeah, check out those pictures on Facebook. What craft, I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Their skill set is ridiculous.
Yes. Yeah. Brittany McGee is a beautiful person on the inside, on the outside. Her concoctions are beautiful. She knows what she's doing. She's creative. She is just awesome, and she's just amazing.
Go girl.
So, humblebeeshop.co. And on Instagram especially, because that's where she does it. Yeah. All right. Well, keep an eye on the blog and this podcast to find out more about the food news and happenings around town. If you have any food news, send us an email, tim@themanwhoatethetown.com, kelly@themanwhoatethetown.com. I'm going to make Tim a email address here in a minute. So like us on Facebook. On Twitter, we are Man8 the Town. On Instagram, we are Man Who Ate the Town. My name is Tim.
And my name is Tim as well.
And we are closing the recipe box. Until next time, thank you for reading. Thank you for listening. Bon appetit. The views and opinions stated by me or any of my guests are solely those of ours and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of our hosting companies, distributors, enemies, friends, or relatives. This podcast is copyrighted and cannot be reproduced or distributed without express written consent of the man who ate the town, that's me, and Such Limited Inc. However, if you ask nicely, we'll probably let you.